Hello. I'm Dr. Guy. Basically, I've got this problem. You see, I've got this YouTube channel, and I'm trying to show these people with their near-death experiences, and I think some of the strongest support of this phenomena is the individuals themselves. As a psychiatrist, I've interviewed a lot of them, over 100 of them actually, and I'm pretty impressed with their stories. But every time, only a small fraction of the stories I record actually make it on my YouTube channel. YouTube kind of yanks them a lot. And so I'm going to try some creative ways of getting the content onto my YouTube channel without totally violating the copyright thing. So what I'm doing is I'm adding extra footage to the clips, and by adding my own footage, I'm hoping that that they'll let me keep the content on the programs that I put on my YouTube channel. So anyway, I brought my flat screen TV out here in my backyard so that I can show you my YouTube stuff. Okay, so these are basically clips from I Survived Beyond and Back, and hopefully with the extra material here, they'll allow me to keep it on the channel. So here goes.
In 1960, Hollywood production had moved to Europe, and it was the decade of Fellini movies and Sophia Loren, and that was the new Hollywood. My husband at the time was a publicist, and I was a publicist as well. I lived in Rome. I was living a fantastic, magical life. I had one child. She was a cesarean delivery. And so when I became pregnant in Italy with my second child, I told the doctor, Professor Mitica, I want to have a natural delivery. And he said, okay. Well, if he said okay, then I suppose it was okay. I was pregnant and traveling all over Italy and having a wonderful time, and time came near and no delivery. It was a marvelous clinic. It was for the uber-rich, and so when you checked into a five-star hotel. And I checked in, and they induced the labor, and I was in labor for 36 hours. They gave me some sort of medication sedative to ease the pain and to put me out. I remember pushing, and then I remember nothing. I was happy to hear that I had a baby girl and that she was well. But I couldn't understand why I was in such incredible pain. My stomach was getting bigger and bigger. And I knew something was wrong. I knew something was terribly wrong. I was trying to get the nun's attention, but she said, calm yourself, you're gonna be okay. And she ignored me because she thought I was hallucinating. I called her a whore. And I said, you blankety blankety blank whore. I am dying. Call Professor Mitica. My stomach was getting larger. The pain was getting much more intense. I am dying. I am leaving my body. But I didn't know where I was going. My stomach was getting larger. The pain was getting much more intense. And I knew something was wrong. I knew something was terribly wrong. When the baby came, they just forgot the placenta. The afterbirth was not extracted. The pain was excruciating. And then the next thing, I was in the corner of the ceiling of this room. I had died. I had died, and I was going to the other side. I had ascended to the top, and I saw my body sweaty, writhing in pain, and then instantly the pain stopped. I equate it to getting into a warm bath after being very cold. It was so comfortable and comforting. From the angle of the ceiling, I had navigated, or was being navigated towards, what best could be described as a cylinder. And I was ascending this cylinder. At the top of the cylinder, there was a light. I finally got to the end of the cylinder, and waiting for me was my father. I had died. I had died, and I was going to the other side. Waiting for me was my father. I was so excited. I lost my father when I was 10. I loved him. I said, Daddy, Daddy, I missed you so much. I want to be with you. And I knew I was dead. I knew that, or else I couldn't have seen my father. But I also knew immediately that there was life after what we call death, that there is an existence of our dearly departed on the other side. You are aware of complete tranquility and great love and warmth. I had said to my father that I will never forget this as long as I live, so help me God. I didn't want to come back. I wanted to stay with him. My father took command of the situation as he would have taken command of any situation. He said, you have to go back. I said, I don't want to go back, Daddy. I missed you. I want to be with you. And he said, you've just had a baby, and you have another baby, and you have to go back. It is not your time. I was ascending this cylinder. I could see my father. He said, you have to go back. I said, I don't want to go back, Daddy. I missed you. I want to be with you. Half of my body was still in the cylinder. The top of my body was embracing my father. He says, no, you have to go back. It's not your time. And with that, he put his hands, and I could feel him to this day, on my shoulder. And with all the force of nature, pushed me back and down through that cylinder, through the ceiling, and into my body. From no pain to extreme pain instantly. It was in a second, a nanosecond. By this time, my stomach was up to here. It was like I was 9 months pregnant again. About a minute later, Professor Mitziga had appeared at my door and he said, "What are you doing?" And I said, "I am dying." And he pulled back the covers. He took his hands, clasped like this, and he went, boom, onto my stomach. And all of a sudden, there was warm blood all over the bed. The mattress was saturated. Professor Mitziga, with this one act of emergency technique, had forced the placenta out of my body. He saved my life with that one pounce. Karen was a beautiful baby, and she was contented and looked wonderful, and she was a miracle. By the way, I tell her this story every birthday. Let me hear what happened when I was born. It's almost a family tradition. I knew something very special had happened to me, just like a person feels anointed. I lost my father at such a young age, and I felt so abandoned. But at that point thereafter, I never felt abandoned. I knew that he was with me at all times, and is with me here, and will always be with me. I know what's on the other side. I also know that anything I do with full gusto and a joy. I have no fear of death, none whatsoever, which makes me live life to the fullest.